Title of the first section is Review, Solving Equations, Using Distributive, Property. In this section, we'll review solving equations, and distributive property means we'll distribute with the parentheses. First question is 5 inside parentheses a minus 1 equals 35. When you have parentheses with a number outside, we can distribute or multiply that number inside. 5 times a would be 5a, and 5 times a negative 1 would be negative or minus 5, equals 35. Solving for a, we can add 5 on both sides. 5a would stay the same. Minus 5 and plus 5 would cancel. 35 plus 5 would be 40. And last step, 5a, we can divide by 5 to cancel the 5's on both sides. Canceling the 5, we have a equals 40 divided by 5, which would be 8. Second question, and last question for the section. 15 equals negative 3 inside parentheses 2x minus 1. Again, when we have parentheses, we can distribute or multiply the negative 3 to each of the terms. 15 on the left-hand side would stay the same. Negative 3 times 2x would be negative 6x. And a negative 3 times a negative 1 would be positive 3 or plus 3. Solving from here, the variables on the right-hand side, that's fine. We can just move the plus 3 to the other side by subtracting 3. 15 minus 3 would be 12. Negative 6x would stay the same, and 3 minus 3 would cancel. And the last step, negative 6 times x. To get rid of multiplying by negative 6, we can divide by negative 6 on both sides. And 12 divided by negative 6 would be negative 2. Negative 6 would cancel, and we'd have x left, so negative 2 equals x. Or if you want to, you could rewrite it x equals negative 2. Title of the last section today is Solving Equations with Fractions. In this section, we'll solve equations that have multiple fractions. First equation is a over 7 minus 5 over 7 equals 6 over 7. In this question, each term is a fraction. When you have an equation with all fractions or multiple fractions, first thing you want to do is make sure you have the same denominator for every fraction. In this case, the denominator or bottom number is all 7s. Once all the denominators are the same, or the denominators are equal, we can cross those off and ignore those, and rewrite the question just with the numerators. So we'll have a minus 5 equals 6. Solving from here, we can add 5 to both sides, and a equals 11. So when you have multiple fractions in an equation, you want to get all these same denominators, and then we can cross off the denominators. Second question, and last question for the section. M over 6 minus 7 equals 2 over 3. For this question, again, we have two fractions. What we can do if we want to cross off the denominators is make every number a fraction. So the 7 we can make a fraction by putting a 1 for the denominator. Before we can cancel out or cross off the bottom numbers or denominators, each of the numbers has to be exactly the same. If we have a 6, 1, and a 3, we need to first get common denominators between all of these. The common denominator or number that each of these goes into would be 6. So the first fraction, m over 6, would stay the same. The second fraction, 7 over 1, we want to change that so it's over 6. So we can multiply the denominator and numerator by 6. So 1 times 6 would be 6, and 7 times 6 would be 42. So 7 over 1 we can change to 42 over 6. Equals, and again 2/3, we want to change that so the denominator is equal to 6. To change 3 to a 6, we're multiplying by the number 2. 3 times 2 would be 6, and the numerator will multiply by the same number. 2 times 2 would be 4. So getting the common denominators, now they're all 6. All the denominators are equal, so we can cross those off or ignore them. And we can rewrite the equation just with the numerator or top numbers. M minus 42 equals 4. From here we can add 42 to both sides. M equals 4 plus 42 would be 46. So m equals 46.